Hello everyone and welcome to a new sprint review demo from the Eclipse JKube team. This sprint we've done minor releases. We've cut minor releases for both our projects, Eclipse JKube and the Fabricate Kubernetes client. And we worked a lot on the Helm features for Eclipse JKube. So on today's demo, I'm going to show you the new feature that was contributed by one of the members of the community, Domenico Laiocano. And in this case is a new goal to push chart to Helm repositories. So let me get started. What I'm going to show you is how to generate this Spring application. I'm going to use the usual goal from JKube to create the image and so on. And then I'm going to generate the Helm charts and push them to a local chart repository. In this case, I'm going to use ChartMuseum. I deployed this local repository using Docker, and right now it's empty. So if I check the index YAML is empty. Also, if I update and if I search in my repository, it should be empty too. Okay, so I'm going to use the Spring initializer. I'm going to add the web dependency, and I'm going to generate the project. Okay, so now I can unzip this into Artifactory. Okay. Okay, so the project has loaded. And well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new static resource here so that we know it's our application. So hello JKube. Okay, and in the project, okay, since I'm going to deploy this into my Minikube, I'm going to set this as a node port, and I'm going to add our Kubernetes Maven plugin. Okay, since this feature is completely new, I'm going to set the snapshot version, and I'm going to configure my Helm repository. So we can configure the Helm repository either using the XML configuration or using Maven properties. So in this case, I'm going to configure the snapshot repository. It will be using the snapshot repository because this is a snapshot version, but we could be using a stable repository too, if the version was a final one. Okay, this is the name of the chart, of the repository, the URL, so my local ChartMuseum, and the type. So in this case, we support ChartMuseum, Artifactory, and Nexus. And then finally, the username for the credentials to upload the chart. These credentials could be set here via command line properties or using the Maven settings. So same as the credentials for the container registry. Okay, so this should do it for the project configuration. As you can see, it's really simple. And now I'm going to, as usual, compile the. Well, let me set my environment first. Okay, and I'm going to compile the project. Okay, so now I'm going to, as usual, generate the container image, the YAML resources, the configuration manifests, the Helm charts, and the new goal, the Helm push. Also, I'm going to set the password via command line property. As I said, we could set the password like using another XML element, but in this case, probably this is what you would be using in a CI environment. So you would probably using the like secret password, something like this, maybe. But well, in this case, I'm going to hard code it. But, okay. Okay, so everything seems to go well. So I can now check again if my repository contains the new chart, and as you can see, it does. I can also update my local repo, and I should be able to search Okay, as you can see, the repository is here. So now, if I check my Minikube cluster, I would be able to install my new repository, my new chart. So as you can see, everything installed. And if I open the node port, yeah, hello JKube, everything is working fine. So yeah, now I should be able to remove the chart too using Helm. Yeah, and the resources were deleted. It's also important to note that I've been using the Helm command line, but in this case, it's just to deploy the charts via Helm, what you would be using normally. But it's very important to know that the Helm CLI is not something that you require in order to push the charts or generate the Helm charts using JKube. Yeah, so this is all for today's demo. Thank you for joining.